Hey guys, it's Josh Allen from gak.co.uk, and with me right here I have Liam from the Qemists. How you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, not too bad. Cool. So, I thought I'd drag you up here today to talk about your instruments.
Sure.
So, let's talk about the guitar you have here. What do you have in your hands?
Well, this is the number one that I play most of the time.
Cool.
This is a PRS Mirror, first generation, kind of when they first came out. And it was kind of PRS's kind of first £1,000 guitar. That's what they were saying.
Okay.
'Cause everything else at that point was kind of 1,800 quid upwards.
Sure.
And actually, this came from GAK.
Sound as a pound, mate.
Yep.
Wicked.
So
when did you buy this one?
2009.
Okay.
About 2009, I think. And I always wanted a PRS, and I tried a load of different stuff that you guys had in.
Yeah.
And I just loved the kind of the tightness and low end, and it actually came down for me between an SG and this.
Okay.
But
very similar in terms of the way
yeah,
the build is, isn't
construction's
it? Like
the same, totally, and solid body mahogany as far as I'm aware. But what I loved about this was just the resonance of it.
Sure.
The pickups, you got the coil tap going on here, and it's just, you know, if you need to switch to a kind of slightly telly or Strat kind of sound, it does a pretty passable job.
Yeah.
And I love playing it because it's so light.
Yes,
you know, it's just like
you can throw it about.
There's no weight, and I jump around and move around a lot, so hence all the dings, hence all the dings in it.
The aging on there.
Yeah, that's it. But I love it. It's played on quite a few different records.
So let's quickly talk about the specifications of this guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the body woods and the neck made of and all that sort of stuff?
I think it's pretty much all mahogany, the whole bit. I think this is rosewood.
Yeah.
This is 24 frets. This is the flat wide neck.
Yeah. How do you find that in terms of? Because I know they've got actually quite a multitude of different neck profiles.
Yeah. I liked it. I just kind of. It just fitted nicely. I was like, yeah, that feels great.
Yeah,
I didn't kind of think too much about it because I came from what was I playing before? I've had Strats, and then I had my number 2 guitar is a 1982 RG 570.
Wicked, the Ibanez, right?
But the really old one.
Yeah.
Sounds.
I've got a neon purple 550, so I know exactly how you feel when you get those old 80s Ibanezes.
It's great guitar. I mean, I've broken the neck twice, and it's got the knobs missing, and it's kind of rusty, and it's proper beaten up.
But it still goes.
Yeah, it's a great little guitar. We were on tour with Korn the beginning of the year, and those guys are Ibanez heads.
Yes.
And I was talking to Monkey's Tech, and he picked it up and looked at it, and he said, That's an old one.
Yeah.
And
I bet they know
they know their RG series like the back of their hand. And because I bought it second hand, and it was I had that guitar when I was 14 or 13.
Oh wow!
So.
Yeah.
Wicked. But the plan is ideally for anyone working for PRS out there is to I'd really like to try they've got a new range called the S2s.
Yes.
And
affordable American-built model.
The principle is the same as this. They're slightly different, but I'd certainly give the Mirror in that range a go, or the Custom 24.
They've got some beautiful colours with the Mirror range in the S2 series. The seafoam green one is one that really resonates with me.
Oh, you like
it's
it?
a beautiful colour.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's got that vintage kind of like light creamy kind of green. Yeah, it's a nice colour.
Exactly. So that's the guitar. So has there been any modifications in terms of, or what you would like to change about it maybe one day?
Yeah, this bridge has been changed to a Tune-O-Matic. It's normally got a wraparound bridge with the Mirror. But I use heavy gauge strings because I like to drop the tuning.
What tuning are you saying?
It's sometimes drop D, but drop C as well. Yeah. So I needed for intonation. I needed to be able to kind of seat these properly.
Really hold it.
Yeah, and these are 11 to 58 beefy slinkies, so nothing out of the ordinary really. I love the tuners. The tuners kill it.
The really quick, easy locking tuners.
Yeah, they're just so solid and so stable and so simple. Yeah. It just works. It's just such a basic design. There's no messing about. There's no mad springs everywhere like with the Floyd Rose with the RG series. It's just basic.
Does the job.
Yeah, but it works.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your live setup then.
Sure.
So obviously we have your number one guitar here. Now let's talk about amplification.
Okay.
The stage is endorsed by Orange Amps today,
Sure.
so I would assume that you might be going through one of their cabs.
I'll probably use an orange cab.
Yeah.
I mean, orange. I probably between that and the Mesa, rectifier cabs. They're my favourite cabs.
Cool.
I really love them. Yeah,
So what are you using on top of it today? What amp are you going to be using for
well,
live?
actually, I'm going to be using a slightly unusual thing. It's called an 11 rack.
Oh yeah.
Made by Avid.
Yes.
Avid kindly many years ago gave me one of the early versions when it came out.
Yeah.
And we've been using that on records and live for a long time because we do a lot of fly out shows.
Yes.
And I was kind of sick of turning up with backline amps hired in that sounded god awful.
Yes.
And they were never what you expect. And you know, I understand things have to change, but you know, I'd be presented with a Fender Twin when I need a rec. A triple rec, and it's like, okay, I'm not sure how I'm going to get this to work. So we thought of this, and actually, because I have an unusual setup with MIDI in that I send my signal at times through our laptop setup to process via Ableton and then send out to the front of house.
Sure.
So I'm using Ableton as an effects processor from my pedal board, which you can't do unless you're using some sort of preamp that's got MIDI going on.
Yeah, of course.
And I had tube heads. I have a JCM 2000 TSL. Not overly impressed with that.
Yeah.
I think Marshall lost their way with that. Needed to keep it simpler.
Yes.
JCM 800s, just the bulletproof.
JCM 800, JCM 2000
Sure.
does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the DSL was better. The TSL was not so good.
Sure. It was the 60 watt, wasn't it? They done a 60 watt.
60.
TSL.
I had the 100 watt, which
100
was
watt.
just insanely loud, and it just it wasn't the one. Before that, I had a Hughes and Kettner Triumph,
Okay, cool.
the Mark II, but unfortunately, fairly early models. I went through 3 of them in a month.
Sure.
It was just overly complicated amps,
There's
and I was
so much going on.
and I was
with
just
those
like,
amps.
nah. So, and then I got this thing, and we were flying all over the world, going to Japan and stuff, and
And they just done the job.
I loved it. And it's like every time our front of house engineer was just like, your guitar sound every time is the same.
I mean, the front of house engineers. I mean, we've had guys with Axe Effects, Kemper, and now 11 Rack today, and you can imagine how much the front of house people love that because they get to dictate what's coming out the
But
front.
it's nice that you can take the Kemper thing madly excites me. That's something I'm mad keen to get involved with.
Sure.
Because we do a lot of we produce all our own records, so the guitar sound and stuff is heavily engineered and all done by us. And the idea of being able to sample some amps and do that thing with the Kemper, and who was I talking to? Rory from Enter Shikari.
Yeah.
He's a friend of ours, and he's like, I only use the Kemper now. I love it.
Yeah. Very cool.
And I was like, yeah. So I've got the Kemper's the next thing for me to check out ahead of this next tour.
Awesome. Well, just to let you know, we do sell them. So
Okay.
there you
All right,
go.
man. I'll pop down and check
There
it
you
out.
go. Fantastic. So last question, Liam. We're talking desert island stuff here. So if you walked into the store and you said, Joss, I want a new guitar, and I was like, dude, you can take whatever you want for free, what guitar would you take off our wall?
Do you know what? It sounds like a mad thing because it's not what I would play on stage, but in terms of having something in the studio. I grew up, the reason I play guitar initially was because I got into playing blues music.
Yeah.
So I would see if you've got a really nice vintage or, the new vintage.
Like vintage reissue stuff.
Yeah, but like a really decent one, Strat.
Yeah? Maybe like a custom shop Strat.
Yeah, custom shop Strat would, and it would be a total indulgence because I just want to play at home.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work for what I do live,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
to sit down and play some blues licks at home or jam along to Stevie Ray Vaughan or
Of
something.
course.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So probably something like that.
Wicked, man.
Yeah.
Sound. Well, cool. Well, that was Liam from the Qemists. Make sure you check them out because they got a new album coming out soon. So, cheers, dude.
Nice one.
Cheers.
Wicked.
Thank you.
Cheers.